Hi, welcome back to McCall Sews. I'm Emma. In today's video, I want to talk to you about my plans to make some bathers. So hopefully that interests you and you keep watching. Last summer I decided I wanted a new pair of bathers, and so I went looking in the shops but couldn't find anything. So that's when my thoughts started about trying to make my own. This is the video of rounding up everything that I've done up until this point in preparation for making my own bathers. I have no idea if it's going to work, if I'm going to be happy with them or not. I have no idea if I'm going to show you the finished product or not, but I haven't made anything yet, and I just wanted to sort of gather all of the information that I've been researching and finding out into this video, so that if you're thinking about making bathers, then you can have access to all the information that I've found helpful so far in my journey of trying to make my own bathers. The first place that I went for information was YouTube. I'm probably not the only one who goes here first. So I thought I would share with you some of the videos that I found helpful. I have notes down here, so if I am glancing down, that's why. I have made a playlist of the most helpful videos, and if I come across any more videos as I'm sewing up my bathers that I find helpful, I'll be adding it to that playlist. So I'll leave that linked down in the description. But I just wanted to point out a couple of the videos that are in there that I found particularly helpful. One of the videos is by Whitney from Tomcat Stitchery. You probably know who Whitney from Tomcat Stitchery is, and you might even have seen this video, but I did find this video particularly helpful. So in Whitney's video, she added a old bra to her bathers so that she had underwire and bra support in her bathing suit. So I thought that was a really cool video and very helpful if that's something you wanted to do. I don't think I'm going to do that for myself this time, but I am definitely going to keep it in mind for any future bathing suits that I make. Other videos that I've got in that playlist are videos that talk about what types of elastic to buy for bathers, what type of sewing machine feet you might need, lots of other tips from other sewing channels about making swimwear, fabric help, fabric tips, as well as some other tools and things that other creators found helpful when making bathers. I recommend you go and have a look at my playlist that I put together if you're interested in making bathers, because I found all the videos in there helpful. Also, over the last year or two, I've been collecting bathers patterns. Who doesn't collect patterns and then not make them? Anyone? Well, anyway, I haven't made any of these. I'm counting it as collecting patterns rather than making them up. But I am going to make up at least one of these patterns, all going to plan. So hopefully it all works out. But let me just talk you through the patterns that I've got in my stash. I am going to be sewing a pattern from my stash. I'm not going to be buying anything new. I've already spent way too much money on this project, gathering all the things that I felt like I needed to be able to sew bathers for myself. So I'm not going to be buying any other patterns at this time. So first is the Love Notions Clearwater Summer Essentials pattern. It includes a dress, 2 tops, a crop and a tank, 2 bottoms, some shorts and bikini bottoms. That's one of the patterns I have. I also have the Made for Mermaids Alexandria. It's one pattern, but it has a few different views. So it has a plain view, a faux wrap view, which you can make with or without a tie, and it also has a flounce. So it has a few options within that one pattern. I also have some paper patterns that I've been collecting from op shops and secondhand sales and stuff like that. I'll just talk you through those ones that I think are options for making bathers. So the first one is Kwik Sew 3609. It's a dress-like halter neck tankini with bikini bottoms. It has a few different views as well, but all the views are up on the screen. I think it has a strapless view as well as a halter neck, but if I'm wrong, the picture's up on the screen. And then I also have McCall's M7417, which is a raglan sleeve rush top with bikini bottoms. And I have Butterick
B6360, which is a ruched side tankini, and it has bikini bottoms. And then another one I have is the Just Knits 9612. It has 2 one pieces and 2 bikinis as part of this pattern. One of the one pieces is a scoop neck while the other one is a square neck, and of the bikinis, one is strapless and one has straps. I do have some other patterns in my stash that I think would work for bathers, so I'm also just going to let you know what those are in case you have those and you want to make some adjustments to make them appropriate for swimwear. The Flow Undies by Seamwork, I think it's a free pattern, I think would work well for bathers. The Waves and Wild have a Superstar bra, which I have made just before. I never got it to fit right, but I think with a few tweaks I maybe could get it to fit right, so that is also an option. And I also have the Wonder Undies pattern, which is also a Waves and Wild pattern, which would go with it, and I could turn that into a bikini or tankini set, so that's also an option. Some other options I have for bottoms of bikinis if I was going to make a 2-piece set. I have a paper pattern, the Burda 5811. It's a little skirt that has ruching on the side, which I think would be nice for over the top of bathers, but you could like wear it in the water if you sewed in some bikini bottoms, or you could make it separate and you could swim in it or not swim in it. That is something that I think would look cute. Otherwise, you could always use the Lindy Pedal Skirt by Itch to Stitch. It's a free pattern. I think that would also work well. You might have to shorten it a bit. I think that would also work. And then some other options for top halves of bathing suits include, I already mentioned the Superstar bra, and then the Made for Mermaids Tessa Twist sports bra and long line top I think also could make a good top half of bather set. I have tried out this pattern before. I do need to make adjustments to get it to fit me, and I haven't had time to make those, so that could be an option. I could spend some time trying to make that fit me. I could also spend some more time trying to get the Waves and Wild Superstar bra to fit me as well, and both of those patterns would make great bikini tops. And then the last pattern I found was I don't know if it's available anymore, but I have it in my pattern stash. It's a Georgian Ginger, the lounge gown, and it's just a little dress that you could wear with bikini bottoms underneath. So I have all of those patterns that I've showed you on the screen and just briefly mentioned. I will be deciding, well, I have decided which one I'm going to try first, but I thought before I tell you which pattern I've chosen, I'll show you my bathers that I'm most comfortable in. These are my current bathers. I bought them a few years ago now, just from Target here in Australia. So they're nothing fancy, but I did want to just mention that it has a crossover here and a side tie. So that might give you a little hint of which of the patterns I've picked, because I decided to start with something similar to what I already like, because at least I like the shape. And I'm not starting from scratch in terms of things I like to wear on my body. I'm comfortable in these bathers. I just would like 1 or 2 more pairs of bathers so I have some choice rather than just the one. We're going on a tropical holiday in a few months, and I just want to have more than 1 pair because I don't like putting on wet bathers. Do you? Does anyone? I'd like to have a couple of pairs of bathers so that I can change. If 1 pair's wet, I can wear a dry pair the next time I'm going down to the pool. On your screen, you should have some photos up of these bathers, but the features I like the most are the faux wrap top with the side tie. So I'm going to start with the Alexandria pattern from Made for Mermaids. I do have to make some changes to the pattern. So on the pattern, the wrap just comes from your waist across, and you'll see on my bathers the wrap starts in sort of the middle of one of the legs and comes across, and I like having more coverage for my stomach, so I'm going to try adjusting the pattern to make it more similar to my current pair of bathers. I am also going to have to give the pattern a full bust adjustment. Thank goodness they have instructions in the pattern for that. I have already done the adjustments on the pattern, so I'm all ready to cut out, but I wanted to film this for you before I got any further along in the process. Hello, I'm going to show you how I'm going to adjust the pattern. So I have
the pattern all printed out. I'm not sure what size I'm making. That's why you see all the extra lines. I'm just going to talk you through what I'm going to do to adjust the pattern to be like my other bathers. So just ignore the extra lines that you see for the moment. But first I've lined up the notches on the side, and then I'm lining up the line for the shelf bra. So then I know that the pattern piece is in the place that it's going to be once it's all sewn together. And if you remember, the tie front section of my store-bought bathers comes to around about here on my store-bought pair of bathers. So I'm going to have to join in to this pattern piece down to this corner. I'm going to make a section that follows the line of the leg hole to about there, and then I'm going to follow that up to meet that pattern piece, and then that should work. I don't see why it wouldn't. So that's how I'm going to tackle making this pair of bathers match the store-bought pair of bathers that I already have and like and feel comfortable in. And then I'll be adding some extra coverage on the side boob area to the pattern, as well as some extra coverage onto the pattern for the cleavage area. I can always take it off after I've made a toile, because I am going to make a toile. So, I think it's going to be really important for this to make sure it fits properly. It could be a disaster if it doesn't fit properly. So yeah. I'm going to try my best to make it fit properly. So yeah, so I will be making a toile. Anyway, I'll get to what I'm going to do next in a minute. But first I wanted to show you all of the things that I've purchased to make bathers. Sort of February-ish, I was at Spotlight and they had a bunch of fabric on the clearance table that is perfect for swimwear. So I bought up a couple of pieces. This is the first one. I'm actually going to make my toile in this, but I should have enough left over to be able to make a proper swimsuit as well after making the toile, because I have quite a large piece of this. So that's the first one that I bought. I actually bought this one a while ago. I didn't buy this over summer, but I bought this one a while ago, but it's just been in my stash. I made my toile of the Superstar bra by Waves and Wild in this fabric. So this one could become something to do with bathers, or could become bathers, who knows. And then also over summer, on that same clearance table, I found this fabric, which is just a animal print, grey animal print on black background. My plan is to make a good pair out of the animal print one. I've also purchased some power mesh. If you haven't heard of power mesh before, it's the thing you put in bathers and other clothing items that sucks you in. so it's like just a mesh, see-through, you can see me, hello. And it's stretchy, but it helps suck everything in. It's definitely needed for me to feel comfortable taking clothes off at a pool in front of people. As well as that, I bought a whole bunch of stuff. So I did quite a bit of research. I want to make most of the bathers on my overlocker. Obviously, I'll do top stitching on my sewing machine, but the rest of it I want to put together on my overlocker. So I did research on the types of thread and stuff that I need. And when I was at my overlocker class a month or so ago, I asked Kate what she recommended. And she recommended a bunch of things, but I decided to go with the cheapest in case it's all a disaster. So I purchased some woolly nylon thread. I actually had to purchase 2. These are not for the needles. In the needles I'll be using a 100% polyester thread, but these will be for the loopers. Okay, so that's one thing that I've done research on. You need a stretchy thread on your overlocker for the loopers, but this thread is too thick to go through the eye of the needle without having issues when you're sewing. So I'll just put that there so you can see what it is. Yeah, so I bought thread, and I only bought 2 because I only need them for my loopers. As well as that, I have bought myself some cups, no nipples showing through my bathers. So that is why I bought them. They won't be seen, so skin color was fine. I've also gone and bought a bunch of different elastics. In my research, you can get special swimwear braided elastic, or you can get a rubber elastic. You can also use that clear elastic, but I don't find that clear elastic stretches enough for me. I'm not that happy sewing with that clear elastic, so I decided to go and buy rubber elastic. So this is rubber elastic. It looks like rubber. And the pattern needs it in a number of different sizes. So I went and bought enough that I'm able to make 5 pairs of bathers if I made this pattern 5 times. Because I thought, well, if I am happy with it, then I'm going to make more than 1 pair. So I have enough for 5. So I bought a 1/4 inch elastic, 3/8 of an inch elastic, and a 3/4 inch elastic. The large 3/4 inch elastic, I'm pretty sure, is for the straps, and if I put a shelf bra in, that is for the bottom of the shelf bra. And then the other 2, I'm not 100% sure what they're both for, because I can't remember. I read the pattern a while ago. It'll be for like the edges, make sure it all stays in. We don't want to have any wardrobe malfunctions in the pool. No, we don't want that. And then lastly, this only arrived the other day, even though I ordered it over a month ago. So it finally arrived, but I did order a special foot for my overlocker. This is, I can't remember what the name of the foot is. Let me see if it says what it is on the paper inside. I haven't even opened it. That's how new it is. That's what it's called. It's a taping foot. You basically use this foot on your overlocker so when you're overlocking your seam, you can also be attaching your elastic at the same time. You can set the foot so it has a tension, so when it adds the elastic to the overlocked sewn fabric that's going through your machine, it has the right stretch. Ages ago when I actually bought this, I did watch a bunch of videos on how to use it, but I will have to refresh my memory on that and probably have a few practice goes, because anything new you need to have a practice with. It's very hard to show. You put the elastic under this section here, and this adjusts to how wide the elastic is so that it runs smoothly. This dial is what does the tension. I'll have to practice using that, but I'm very happy it finally came. When I make my first toile, I'm actually just going to make it for fit, to check that the adjustments I've done are all right, that it's long enough in the body, and I'm not going to put any of the elastics or anything in because I don't want to waste resources, basically. So the first toile I make is really just going to be for fit. Once I'm happy with any adjustments that I end up having to make, then the next pair I make will be a wearable toile, and that will be where I practice putting in the elastic, and then hopefully it will be wearable enough that I'll be able to use it. But my plan is then to make a real pair after that. So it's a long process. It's going to take me weeks. So I just thought I would share my plans with you, because I don't often share my plans, but this is something I've been preparing for all year to sew up. So I thought it was worth sharing with you before I start it. And then hopefully I'm successful and I'll be able to share with you what I made. Yeah, so that's my plans. To make my own bathers. Have you ever made your own bathers? Have you got any tips for me? Have you ever made this pattern, the Made for Mermaids Alexandra pattern? Let me know. Let me know if you have any tips, because I'm all ears. This is probably going to be my sewing project for the whole of July. I don't think that I'm actually going to work on anything else but the bathers for the month of July, because I would like to have them ready early enough before our trip, so that I don't stress about it too close to the trip. My plan is at this stage to basically sew up the bathers. Hopefully it doesn't take the whole month, but if it does, it does. And if I end up having to change patterns because I'm not happy with something, I'll let you know in another video. But that's it from me. I hope you have a creative day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.